was a blackout on the Assange issue as Dr. Cornel West and other people want to demonize quote unquote YouTubers, fucking boomers.
Well, that just shows. I didn't know if it was my place to wade into this, but what the hell? Those concerns haven't stopped me in the past.
I actually want to hear it. I love to hear
it. Look, what was the critique that a lot of people had of him from day one, even when we were supportive of him, because we figured he's running with the Greens. You're like, all right, he'll have ballot access. He's got some name ID. What the hell? This is worth a shot. I remember what you and CJ kept saying is that he comes from a PMC background. And that shows in calling you guys. I mean, it's
and Jordan Sheraton does it too. Like the status quo guy, he's like, I'm the only real journalist out here. Nigga, no, you're not. Like, bro, you're one of many. And he got this elitist ideology that they have. Like, we're the real journalists. You college dropout, working class scum. You're not journalists.
Well, that's what I mean. And he put it in a way that was especially ugly. I mean, it's an ugly thing to say about Jimmy, but it's an even uglier thing to say about you guys. You're a black professor who makes, six figures. I'm sure he does, right? I don't know that for a fact, but, these Ivy League guys do pretty well. And you're going to call a group of working class black men with a YouTube channel, you're going to say they are on Jimmy Dore's plantation?
Literally unhinged.
That shows a class bias, right? It shows that these working class YouTubers in his mind are not legitimate, or that they're doing something to get in the good graces with someone who's above them in a certain hierarchy. It's just a really ugly thing to have said. It really is.
And it shows that he also has no integrity, because you guys know why I'm friends with Dr. Cornel West, or was? Because he liked my Substack articles. His wife found my articles I used to write before I started RBN. I used to write these long form articles. I got like 6 or 7 now released. I need to start writing again one day, because that's how I got started in this. Not a YouTuber, as literally writing Substack articles, but they don't give me credit because I don't have a college degree. So I guess I don't get credit for that kind of stuff, I guess. So Dr. Cornel West saw my op-ed while I was talking about Black history, and he reached out to me and said, this is a great article. We've been friends after that. So Dr. Cornel West knows my journalism, probably knows more than anyone else does. You guys know that? I was friends with Dr. Cornel West way before RBN. He read my work in Substack and told me he liked it. And now he turned around and pretend I don't do good work after going on RBN and praised my work multiple times. Why did he make this flip, Keaton? He used to think we did good work, and now he said we don't do good work. So what changed? He went on RBN and he said, I want you guys to hold me accountable. Yep. And then we decided to hold him accountable, and then he got his feelings hurt.
Right, he had a hissy fit. Right, just take the criticism. Look, I can guarantee you he had very little idea who Navalny was when he or whoever writes his tweets wrote that. Let's say it's him. I don't know for sure, but whatever. I didn't know much about who Navalny was. I had heard the name, wasn't particularly interested. And so I didn't really know who he was at the time he died. So you know what I did? I kept my fucking mouth shut because I didn't really know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
If you're going to put out a statement without knowing what you're talking about and you get some backlash, then maybe learn what you were talking about and either take the tweet down or either put out not necessarily a mea culpa necessarily, but a clarification or whatever. And then his wife did, and he retweeted it. You want to own your statement, but don't have a hissy fit when people take issue with it. That's as he said to you guys. I mean, that was part of the reason you guys were excited to start having him on the show at regular intervals, was because he was making himself responsible to whatever movement he at the time thought he was going to build in this space. But as was revealed very, very quickly, he wasn't really interested in being held to any kind of standard. When you did, he lashed back out.
Yeah, you guys know I don't do diss tracks that often, but you guys saw the diss track I made on him because I had to get his ass. I don't care when people attack me. You know what I mean? I get attacked all the time, and usually in the most bullshit, benign way possible. And I don't care. I don't have time to deal with it. It's when people lie about my team. is when I have to get you. When you lie about the fact that you have JB who is disabled, he has his own mutual aid organization. He just did a homeless drive not too long ago. When you lie about his activism, say he doesn't do anything, now it's not about me no more. You're attacking my team. You guys know every time when someone attacks my team, that's when I have to get you. Black Power Media was talking shit about me for a long time. You know, you had that cornball Jared Ball who was lying about me. He was doing it for a long time. It wasn't about until he lied about my team. When you start lying about what we do, when you say we're not doing anything, then I have to go get you. So I had this video I put out there. Rome clipped that video while I went on the rant. Where they might hit him up on Dr. Cornel West diss track. And I didn't expect to do this. Was 72,000 views. Overwhelmingly well received on Twitter because people was waiting for someone to put Dr. Cornel West in his place. And I did, and I had to do it because his elitism is unforgivable. Like for him to erase the activism that he know we do because we held him accountable. Why did we hold him accountable? We was very optimistic because I'm a revolutionary optimist about the prospects of having a chance to pull people away from the duopoly. Even if it's someone that not all way to communist, the opportunity to get people away from the duopoly system. It's a way to build the revolutionary building blocks we need. But then as his campaign continues, we realize that he's running a deeply unserious vanity project. And Dr. Cornel West came on RBN 3 times in order to turn us into a media arm. Now, explain this in my rant. Where Dr. Cornel West, he says, I want you guys to hold me accountable. Wink. You guys know how they got them PNC inside talk. And I didn't pick up on it. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna come on your show, man. I'm gonna help you out. Anything you need. Remember, guys, this is what he said on our show. Anything you need, brother. Anything you need, man. Hit me up. You need anything. And if you ever want to hold me accountable, I'm here.
Right.
For you. When they say that, they don't mean it. And I'm learning this. That was his wink and a nod of like, hey, bro, I will turn you to the new 10 Black. I will make you right now if you become our media arm. So even though he's saying that this is how these corrupt deals are made, hey, man, I want you to hold me accountable. Wink, wink. Not really, bro. So then when we start holding him accountable, we like, bro, he think like, bro, you fucking violated our deal. and I'm going through this in real time, bro. I'm like amazed at the tactics they use because that is what Dr. Cornel West did, guys. He was trying to make a bargain with us. Wink, winking, and nodding. And then we didn't understand.
Right.
So he started running a deeply unserious campaign. We're like, hey, bro, what the fuck is this? And he went, you didn't get the wink, wink, nod we was doing. I went on your show, man. I help you out. And then remember, that what Dr. Cornel West fans were saying. They're like, how dare RBN betray a politician? People were saying this, fam. People were like, RBN betrayed the guy who's running for president. We didn't betray him. He betrayed us, my friends. Because we called him out, and I'll pass right to you, Ken. We called him out for leaving the Green Party in his interview with Sabi. His interview with Sabi marked the exact second I was really done. Like I was already critical, but I was done because he said in front of Sabi's entire audience that he don't want to join the Green Party because movement building is hard.
Right.
So then we was like, all right, you wasted our time. You're fucking with the working class. This is dead serious. We don't have time to waste with your vanity projects. What is your plan to get on the ballot if you're not part of the Green Party? What is your plan? Oh, we believe in the power of positive thinking, the power of friendship. They had all these bullshit answers, and you covered it as well, Keaton. Everyone was asking after you left the Green Party, how the fuck are you going to get on the ballots? We find a way. We just got to think about it real hard. We just wish it. Figure it out. It seems like they never had a strategy. So you got FEC, you have the filings that are coming out. I have all these friends who always DM me this stuff. It's very cool. Like people always send me these tips. I got all these stories I want to do with these filings that are coming out. So look at this. Someone sent me this, one of my good friends and sources. Independent president, Dr. Cornel West committee raised $140,000 in January. $50,000 for small donors. So that's what the salary of like 3 teachers that he took for the vanity program. That's how we should
and it's
think
also nowhere near enough to get signatures that you're going to need. I mean, he's on in Oregon and Alaska, the 2 critical swing states of Alaska and Oregon so far. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
And if you try your best, bro, and you don't succeed, that's okay, bro. I get it. But despite all the money you raised, 0%, zero, was spent on ballot access. You know, the most important part of running as a third party candidate? Nigga, nothing else matters other than ballot access. Even if I liked your ass, even if I wanted to be part of your boudoir club, I couldn't vote for you in Missouri anyway, sir.
Right.
You know who I can vote for? Jill Stein, like I did 2 times.
Right. Right.
That's why he was unserious. And we told people this when he left the Green Party. Even if you had disagreements with the Green Party, I have talked to Green Party members who are more than happy because they are still a smart organization for people to come in and change and take over the Green Party. We had third-party summits where Green Party leaders said that same thing. The Green Party is small. They can still be morphed and changed if radically taken over by the working class.
Exactly.
And so you can do that. But Dr. Cornel West decided not to. And now Dr. Jill Stein, I know you want to talk past to you.
No,
Jill Stein is polling at 6% on the national polls. You moron, Dr. West. Now Dr. West is more famous than Jill Stein, has more support in the Black community. Can you imagine what Dr. Cornel West will be in the Green Party polling? If in the polling in the Green Party would be if he stayed in the race of the Green Party, but he didn't because he didn't want to threaten Joe Biden at the end of the day. Go ahead, Keaton.
Yeah, the rationale for his candidacy inside the Green Party is that with his name ID and his charisma and his star power, he would be able to bring with him a movement of people into the Green Party to basically take it over and recreate it. So for him to say, well, there were all these machinations inside the party that I didn't want to deal with, well, the point of your candidacy was to build a movement big enough to work that out, to overcome that if necessary. I don't doubt that there are probably some people in the Green Party who are extremely difficult to work with and are extremely stuck in their ways. They have a reputation for that. But you are the guy who had the opportunity to go in and just change that, take it over, right? I mean, that's basically what you were saying. That was the rationale. And that was very important because they have the ballot access. They have the ballot access. And it was all about the ballot access. That's the whole ball game, folks. That's it. That's the whole ball game. Between California and Texas alone, you need 330,000 signatures, and that's just technically what you need. Everybody knows you need almost double that because the DNC sends their lawyers in and they invalidate as many signatures as they possibly can. And so you need really 500,000 in those 2 states alone. 2 states alone. And the Greens have access in both of those states from jump. So just in those 2 states, you are setting yourself back 100 miles by switching off of the Green Party ticket. And yes, that proved that it was an unserious venture, obviously.
Yep.
And one more thing I'll say, because people say that, I know people, came at you guys for turning on Cornel West. And, one of the first points I made on one of the first post-duopoly shows we ever did was that sometimes you just have to have the maturity to sit with a feeling of despair, sit with a feeling of hopelessness, stare into the void and understand that you don't always know what your next step as a movement is. Because if you can't sit with that feeling, if you're so restless and you're so nervous to face that reality down, you're going to have a million different false starts, whether it's Marianne or Cornel West or RFK, right? And you're never going to get anywhere because you're always going to have these bursts of excitement followed by these crushing, oh, I can't believe it didn't work out. You have to spare yourself of that. And working people are more capable of doing that than the PMCs because working class people know what it's like to live in despair. They live with hopelessness. And so that idea is not so threatening to them that they are too emotionally immature to actually deal with it the way a lot of these PMCs are. So similar thing. Sean Fain starts saying all the right things. I'm excited about the UAW strike. 2 days before the UAW workers are set to go on strike, he has a live stream where he says, okay, plan is less than 10% of us are going on strike. And I said, what? That doesn't seem right. Now, look, I'm not a labor organizer. I will fully admit I didn't exactly know what I was talking about. That didn't seem like the right thing to do. Seemed like a weak move. So I texted Shama, whose opinion I trust on these things much more than I do my own. And I said, what do you think about this? To take a look at this. And so she messaged me back and she said I pretty much had called it right. And then she came on my show a couple days later and we talked about it a little bit. And, you know, she took more heat than I did as a result of that. A couple of the shows commented, why is she tearing down Sean Fain? He's the man for the moment, blah, blah, blah. All right, then a couple months later, they get a deal. Most of the workers seem happy with the deal. I said, okay, you know, whatever. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's as good as they wanted. They wanted a 40% wage increase. They got less than a 30% wage increase. They abandoned the 4-day work week demands. But whatever, if the workers are happy, we'll call that a push, right? I mean, you never know what deal you could have gotten had you done it another way. But all right, fine. They want to call it a win. Well, whatever. I'll let them take the win. They come out, they call for a ceasefire. They say the endorsement of Joe Biden must be earned. It will not be given. It must be earned. A few weeks after that, what does this fucking asshole do? He goes ahead and endorses Joe Biden. and then when he's asked about it on TV, they say, you know, you said just a few weeks ago, your endorsement has to be earned. What changed between when you said that and when you gave him your endorsement from the UAW? Pardon me. He says, did something change? Was it ever in doubt that you were going to endorse Joe Biden? And he said, no, it was never in doubt. No, it was never in doubt, which means he knew all along he was going to endorse Joe Biden. So what he did was the same thing that Bernie Sanders did. Put up this big show with the chest pounding. No, we're going to get something for our endorsement, knowing all the while it was only a matter of time before he caved. And so everybody, I know this is a long-winded point to make, but whether it's Cornel West or whether it's Marianne or whether it's a labor leader, when you fall in love and fall in line behind a leader and you start shit-talking anyone who asks questions of that leader, you know you're setting yourself up to take a massive L. And that's what all of these people have done, no matter who it is that they have fallen in love with over the years. RFK, we were one of the first to sniff that out. I'll pat myself on the back for that. Cornel West, Marianne Williamson, Sean Fain, these all crumble. They crumble. And I think part of the reason that they crumble is because, there's just no oxygen right now for any sort of movement in the electoral space. And when we start kidding ourselves into thinking there is, we only set ourselves up to become even more hopeless, to become even more crushed, right? And so that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I still remember. I said many times I love how I had the dumbest critics. Like sometimes I'll be up late at night and I'll just think about the dumb things my critics say and I'll just laugh. Like the Vanguard, when they was propping up Marianne Williamson and John Ferryman. I still remember one of the meltdown streams they had about it. They were like, man, I think RBN is just here to hurt our movement. Every time we hear to prop up a candidate, they're here to tear it down. And when they said it, I laughed so hard. I was like, bro, I wear that criticism like a badge of honor. That is what they said with a straight face, fam. They're like, every time we find Marianne Williamson, John Ferryman, they always dare to tear our candidates down. They are agents of chaos. I'm like, is that supposed to be a criticism, sir? We are here so the working class doesn't waste time and energy, emotional resources on these candidates, going on this emotional roller coasters. You know who went on an emotional roller coaster? Marianne Williamson supporters. Right. You know who's on an emotional roller coaster? John Fetterman supporters. Like, I seen the Vanguard. They trying to re-up their attacks on John Fetterman. I saw they had a tweet out today like, this fucking ogre guy. Like, no, you got a lot to make up after your channel pushed this guy, this genocidal maniac. And they are down with the working class repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Yeah, we wasted $300 million on Bernie in 2 elections, but wouldn't it be fun if we did again?